Jim, I wanted to ask you, Bloomberg's got a piece this morning saying that the fiscal apocalypse that was expected to blow a hole in state budgets has not come, at least not yet, and that has provided an opening for lawmakers to leave that part out.
Oh, look, I just think as long as I want the hospitals protected, I just think that the amount of money that the hospitals have had to spend, I mean, don't remember, some of these hospitals just don't have, they're going to be bankrupt.
Yeah. And there will be, I think there is funding for certain things related to the money being spent by state and municipalities on COVID specifically. It's just not going to address the gaping budget deficits that many of these states are facing as a result of the slowdown in economic activity, right, which was resulted, of course, in tax revenues being well below. But I mean, listen, in our region, it's also the MTA, which is facing just a gigantic budget deficit, what, $12 billion or more, which could result in a 40% cut in services, which would just crush the ability for people to get around in the tri-state area and therefore make things a lot more difficult.
Look, I think that there are certain stocks, Carl, that are such big winners. If everybody, man, woman, child gets $600, I mean, here we go again. I mean, the money goes to the big box retailers. The money goes to fix up your house or your apartment. And the money goes for the gamification of stocks. Maybe that's one of the reasons why stocks are so strong. I love that word. Gamification. Don't doubt that. I talk with people at the major, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. They all know that there's a whole new group of people who are buying stocks because they got money from the federal government and they don't need it. Why don't they target the people who need it? I don't know.
So you're not counting, Jim, on any of that direct payment going to help the very small businesses we were just talking about.
Look, I think that business interruption insurance is what's really needed. Look, we have a storm coming. You can't have restaurants outside. I don't want to be too New York centric, but the idea is that we want businesses, PPP, we want businesses to stay alive so they can keep hiring. The $600 to rich people or to people who have means, I hope that they don't get that. So we save it for other people who need it worse, for people who are hungry. David, there are people who are not getting food in our country because of something that had nothing to do with their work ethic. Nothing.
It's absolutely true. The food lines are long and horrific. You're right.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.